Hi, I'm Ellie Sanudo, cut coach from Aveda Institute Tucson, and today I'm going to show you how to balayage. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that your guest is properly draped and that her hair is tangle free. We're going to be using horizontal subsections, and the reason why I'm sectioning this out with my fingers is because I want the overall look to feel lived in, and I just want it to lay nice and natural. The formula that I'm going to be using today, I'm going to be using 20 grams of enlightener, 20 grams of cream booster, and 30 grams of 40 volume. And because we're going to be processing at room temperature, I am going to be using that high of a developer, not necessarily to increase the lift, but really to increase the speed of my application. You can also use the universal 0N instead of the cream booster if you'd like, and you can switch out the 40 volume for 30 volume if that's something that you'd rather do. You just want to make sure that the consistency of the lightener works for you. You don't want it to be too runny and you don't want it to be too thick. That's why I'm using equal parts of the lightener and the cream booster, and I'm just doing 30 grams of the developer instead of the full 40 grams. So when I'm loading the product onto my brush, I'm really just loading it onto the side of the brush, and I'm not using a lot. You also want to make sure that your brush stays perpendicular to your section. And on this section, I'm creating a V. And then I'm blending it a little bit closer to the scalp. And I'll just add a little bit in the middle to create kind of like a W application, W pattern. And notice how my application is very clean. It's really important that whenever you're doing balayage that you stay very clean and that you're holding the hair with even tension. So I'm using a small narrow wooden brush. It's a paddle that is going to help me support the hair so that I can saturate the ends completely. I'm flipping the hair over because I want to make sure that I'm getting the underneath section, but notice how I'm only flipping the ends. I'm not flipping the entire section. It's going to be a little bit hard to get used to using the pedal at first, but once you master it, it'll be a really great tool for your application. And then I'll just move on to my next section. And the key to this is to make it look balanced. So it doesn't have to be completely symmetrical, but you want it to flow nicely and just to look balanced throughout. I'm also laying saran wrap so that I can separate the sections. And you don't want to press on it too hard, you simply just want to lay it in the hair. And I'm just working my way up in horizontal subsections. So once I'm done with the back, I'm going to part it down the middle and move over to the side. So you always want to take into consideration their part. If they part on the side, I would recommend doing a side part instead of a middle part. And notice how I'm making the sections around her face. I'm bringing them up a little bit higher because I want it to be brighter around the face, so that if she puts her hair back or if she curls it, she's going to have more lightness around her face. And I'll just follow that same technique throughout the entire top. And then I'll do it on the other side and let her process. So Hannah processed for about 30 minutes. And then I shampooed her with Color Conserve. And I glossed her with 2 different formulas. So I did a 9 on her scalp area, and then I blended it into a 10 and a 0. I used equal parts of both for the mid-lengths and ends. And the reason why I did this is because I want it to just be a little bit darker on the top and still maintain that brightness throughout the rest, throughout the bottom. And you can see, it's a little bit more of a close-up, but you can see the brighter pieces around her face. And then I'm doing a beautiful finishing touch on her. I'm finishing with air control. And there you go. Balayage application. Thank you so much for watching and have fun with your balayage.